Everybody knows where we are. I can put the 7th in there, the flat 9, which is what I've got. Let me talk about that chord for a second. Because this is that same old chord we had down here a few minutes ago, this G7. When I put that, remember that? It's the same chord. So it just goes to show you in reality, the voicing really can work. And voicing that's it. That's the name of the game. Okay, so we've got flat 6, sharp 9, C minor 11. That's another chord. Let's stop here for a second. Hey, nice. That chord works almost anywhere. You've added another chord to your vocabulary. And what I'm saying is, if you wanted to use this chord, that means you can play arpeggios off of it. Another idea? I didn't do that there, but if I played, you say, what do I do here? You could do that if you want. You could do, or you could not do it at all and think about the melody, which is really what you should do. Because what you're doing in the introduction is you're playing a melody. I'm thinking about what melody I'm going to play, right? Bang, you know where we're going. The sets are up. And you're playing a melody, not just a series of chords, you're playing melody. And I think if you begin to think in terms of melody instead of thinking of just chords, man, that's going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. You know, because it'll lead you other places automatically. Now, rather than playing, suppose I went same note, rather than going to C minor chord, suppose I did this to her. Now we're getting into what we call substitutions. I know we're going lickety-split. Okay, basically what we have here, the way I came up on that chord is that I heard something on a record and I said, geez, what is that? I mean, I don't know what, you know. It was just a simple little turnaround, 6, 2, 5, boom, 1. But they had these weird little changes in here where they seemed to go out of key. And that interested me, you know. And so I just started experimenting around with it and trying to see how far I could take it. I said, well, that's just an upper, or, you know, an upper neighbor to the dominant. So I said, that works, you know. I see. Oh, that's simple. So I see. Now suppose we did it this way. Let me experiment. Rather than using a major chord, suppose I did this on that odd little chord. Hey, you can do anything with that chord, you know? Basically just a G7 chord, the same old one we played down here when we first started talking about this. Same chord, okay? Added the 9th, okay? Let's say I'll stick with that for now. But you could even go here. See, the possibilities are just crazy. It just depends on the singer you're working with. Now, I want to bring up Diane Reeves. And we're going to make a little demonstration about what works and what doesn't work with certain singers. This is Diane Reeves. Now, Diane is
another weird singer.
She's one of those singers. See, she's one of those singers that you can do almost anything. We're going to test her out a little bit today. Not too much. I won't do it to you, but I'm going to use the same set of intro changes that I was playing when we first started, and I'm going to play it basic. And let's go into the song a little bit. And then we'll stop. This song is called "I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good." We're dealing with a lot of the jazz stuff today because it really relates to everything else, and it's really a little more complex, you know. And so I'm dealing with that first. So Before I do that, let me ask you something. What do you like in a piano player? I mean, what do you look for?
Basically, you've covered, just about everything. I think the most important thing, singers can relate to melody. And if you play an intro, or even if you play throughout the song with a melodic kind of understanding, whether it be the melody of the song or just something that goes along with the chords, a singer can always understand that. So that's one of the things that I like. I don't like a pianist that will drag me everywhere that they want me to go because they hear certain things. So they want you to go there and sing there. At the same time, I like to be led, and I like for you to follow me. So it's kind of a give and take. And when you relax and do it, what happens is you end up creating something wonderful. Simplicity, I think, is the key.
Okay, so let's try it. I'm going to play. This is not the way I would do this. I'm going to play sort of not the way I'm supposed to. And I think you will readily detect the difference. It's almost like it's, the piano player sits down and says yes. Okay.
Are you finished? Never treats me sweet and gentle the way he should.
Okay, well, that's enough. Okay.
That
Now,
happens.
you know what's happening. First of all, I'm not listening to her, and I'm not thinking about the mood. Okay, I don't think I need to go into that. Now let me play it a little more like what I might do. Let's keep it. This will be a straight one.
Never treats me sweet and gentle the way that he should. I've got it bad, and that ain't good. No, 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 no.
Okay. She's yeah. I think she knows how to sing. I think, huh? As a matter of fact, we're working on a record right now for Blue Note Records. It's distributed by Capitol, as a matter of fact, which is going to be fantastic. Okay. But anyway, that was a little better. That's a little better. We're getting there. Now, suppose as a pianist, I say, this woman can sing. I can do more with her than I can do with some of these other singers who can't quite hear the picture, don't have quite the musical background. So let's say we test this singer a little bit, because I know her a little bit. Now, that means all of the things that I do with any instrumentalist, I can pull out at my disposal. Fourth chords, all these upper and lower neighbors of things that sound like mistakes, that you can make sound good. Using open chords, using tight chords, real compressed. And let's see what we get. Little different intro, basically the same chords, okay?
Never treats me sweet and gentle got it bad, and that ain't good. No.
Okay, now, I'm dry up here. That's a little weirder. But there are certain pianists that would do that. And people like, say, I'm just going to name some names, McCoy Tyner, people like Herbie Hancock might do something like that because they tend to use real compressed chords and then use these things which just sort of like use the whole keyboard, ring, you know. And half the time, it's funny, sometimes I don't even know what they're doing because it's real, you know, it's real upper and lower neighbor oriented. You know, they may have one chord, but and you can use anything because those fourth chords lead anywhere, you know. So between this, another thing, I'm gonna give you a tip. This is a little secret. This is a little secret, okay, that really works. Okay, if you're playing with a bass player, okay, and you're not quite sure, for example, with these sets of changes, if the bass player might, for some unknown reason, instead of go to this chord, decides to play an E flat in the bass, you know, and leaves you playing this, and he's playing that E flat, that gives you that. And see, you know, you're always running into those kind of problems with these bass players, right? So you're not quite sure, and he may decide to do that, which has nothing to do with all of a sudden it's now. Okay? Now, you're not sure when he's going to do that. Here's a little trick that these guys use all the time. It's real simple. What do I do? I play it after the beat. Cats do it all the time. Cats, Herbie will sit there, for example, you know, after he says, oh, an E flat, okay. But if not, if you voice your voicing such, it won't make any difference anyway. Say, for example, with this. If I play this chord, if the bass player plays an A, or if he plays an E flat, it will make a bit of difference. You see that? And I say, hey, I found another chord. However, you will notice this is the same chord we were talking about earlier, except in another key. Okay? Yeah, good, they can see that. G, basically you're talking about saying A7, starting with the 7th. And I like to call it just an F triad on top. You know, flat 6. Like that voice. You say, hey, that's one I can use anywhere. Okay. So you can play after the beat. Now this is the only one that may be a little funny. Because if you decide to play that chord and the bass player plays this, you got a problem. So I suggest that you might lay back. Okay, I think I've talked enough about introductions. Are there any questions about, just in general, about introductions? No, you guys got it. Yeah.
Instead of the G7 chord, what would happen if you used a D flat 7?
You mean on top of the G? Instead of a G. In this, in what key? You mean that? Well, how do you feel about it?